So that's okay. So I'm going to present to you one finding or initial finding of our study. Before I do that, I would like to give you some background and just recap our important goals. So you might not look at the finding already and just listen to me now. So as you might know, we use the Berlin wisdom model as a theoretical framework, and in this model, wisdom has been defined as an expert-level knowledge about difficult life problems. And we've assessed this type of knowledge by having people think aloud about difficult hypothetical problems related to the meaning and conduct of life, and we present these problems typically in short text-based vignettes. So the goal of our current work that we pursue in this context of this network is to start or to begin to better understand under which conditions people use or activate their wisdom-related knowledge when they deal with real-life problems, and especially when they deal with interpersonal conflict. And so, for example, one hypothesis is that if a person pursues self-interest and is or particular interests that are related to one particular party involved in a conflict, then this person should have a much more difficult time to activate wisdom-related knowledge than if this person is not involved in the conflict at all. And we're also interested in the role of age in this process. And so here our prediction is that because of the accumulated experience, older people should be better at using wisdom-related knowledge when they deal with real-life problems. But this advantage might not manifest itself when they are asked to think about hypothetical problems that provide very little information about the problem itself and the people who are involved in the problem. And as I said, this is the typical paradigm that we use in our past work. So as for our empirical project, what we've done as a first step, we developed new conflict tasks. That is, we produced video clips of couples as they have a conversation about a serious ongoing conflict in their marriage. And after we validated the films according to several criteria, we retained 3 film clips, the best ones that we got. And we ran a study with almost 200 adults ranging in age between or from 20 to 80 years. And they all came into the lab twice for individual interview sessions. And in the first sessions, among other things, of course, we also collected lots of, intelligence measures or personality stuff. And, but the focus of the first session was that we had participants think aloud about our traditional wisdom tasks, and especially the suicide task. That's the task that we most often used in the past. And in the second session, our participants watched the 3 film clips under either no instruction, no particular instruction, or the instruction to put themselves into the shoes of one of the spouses that they were going to watch. And after each film, we asked our participants to think aloud about the problem and give advice to the couple as to how they might go about solving the conflict. And they also reported their emotional reactions to the film clips, because other than our vignettes, the new films actually evokes emotions. And we also asked them to rate the emotions of each spouse. So that helped us to come up with a performance-based measure of empathic accuracy and emotional congruence. So at the moment, we are still in the process of coding all the protocols, and we decided as a first step to code all of the protocols, so the ones that address the hypothetical problems as well as the ones that address our real-life problems, in terms of 3 criteria that we consider as typical of wisdom, and that is, so we're interested in the degree to which the person's thought reflect value relativism and tolerance, uncertainty awareness, and lifespan contextualistic thinking. And this is one finding that relates to the effects of age on wisdom-related knowledge. And if you take a look at the blue line, you see, and this is wisdom-related knowledge, low is 1 and 7 is very high. And you see, if you take a look at the blue line, you see that we were able to replicate our finding that there's no age-related difference in wisdom if you assess it by our hypothetical vignettes. However, and this is in contrary to our prediction, our new conflict films elicited greater wisdom-related knowledge in young adults than in old adults. And there are several explanations, obviously, to this finding, but I have explored the data already. And what I found are 3 resources for high wisdom-related knowledge during conflict. And this is high intelligence, fluid intelligence, high affect intensity, and high conflict tolerance. And all of these resources decrease with age, and they not only decrease with age, they can also explain the decrease in wisdom-related knowledge. And just maybe one sentence, am I allowed to say it? So I think the conflict tolerance variable is probably, or to me, it's the most interesting variable, because we have selected marital conflict as one example for a real-life problem, because we have thought that solving conflict in close relationships would be relevant to all people at all ages. Shouldn't put one age group at a disadvantage. But now our older participants tell us that they tend to avoid conflict, and that they are just not, that they don't want to engage into conflicts. And that could mean that they just have less experience in that problem domain than the young adults. And more generally speaking, and thus less wisdom-related knowledge, and more generally speaking, that could mean that we lose the bodies of knowledge that are no longer adaptive anymore because they're not relevant in our everyday lives. And so a plan for the future is to more systematically vary the age relevance of the wisdom tasks and see whether the age relevance moderates age-related decrease in wisdom, but also increase, because it could be that in old age we not only lose bodies of knowledge, but we also gain knowledge, that is relevant to our life period. So, for example, if you present to older people problems related to Alzheimer's disease, that would be an old problem where I would expect age-related increases in wisdom-related knowledge.